Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. Today we are destroying everything. So we are downstairs on the main level of our home here in our bathroom. And this is also behind me the utility closet. This is where, before they built the basement addition to this home, all of our utilities were located. I've already started taking some things apart in here. I've already taken the furnace and things like that out, but let me show you what we have down here and what the plans are. This will start a series of videos that we will do, or that I will do, on renovating this whole project, and there is a lot to do here. So there'll be a lot of videos coming out on this project. So today we get to start by destroying everything in my way. And kind of the fun part, but lots of cleanup to do. And so let me show you what we have and what the plans are to get this thing taken care of. So coming into the bathroom here, you can see here's the utility closet. We'll take a look in there in just a moment. And in front of us here we have what is basically our linen closet, the only closet that we have down here where we can put anything. And it's open shelves, which I don't really like. I like to hide things. So we were looking to kind of fix that issue. So we're going to be taking all of this out. We're going to be taking this wall and all these doors out and redoing this entire area. Forget to turn on the light. That barely works. So in here we have the hole in the ceiling where the furnace ductwork and everything used to go. So we're going to be patching that up and moving some things around above this area. We have the secret window that we found that was behind the furnace that I never knew existed. So I may either just insulate and drywall right over that, or I may actually remove that and patch that up. I don't think we're going to be needing or using that. It's kind of in the way of what I want to do here. We have our water heater, which is an electric water heater. Energy efficiency is electric water heaters are not good. So this is the electric water heater. This thing just sucks a whole lot of power. It's our main source of our electric bill. And so we're going to be replacing that with a new water heater solution that we'll go through a whole video on. We have a water softener in here also. It looks like it needs salt. This will be moved also. And then over on the other side, we have all of this beautiful plumbing. Look at that wonderful plumbing job. Gas piping and flex connectors. And now I did the foam. That's my fault. But the rest of this stuff was not my fault. So we're going to be cleaning all this up. I'm going to tear all the drywall off this back wall, figure out what these wires are to. We've got hose spigots in the wall that aren't connected to anything. We've got, you know, strange valves that go into the wall, plumbing on the outside wall and other things. We're going to clean all this up, get rid of this stuff, get rid of these shelves in here. And so we are going to completely redo this entire area. We're going to put a door right here somewhere in the middle. And then inside this whole area will be closet space. Lots of work to do in the utility closet. Some holes in the wall where the old venting used to go out. And so lots and lots of work to do in here. And we just need to get started. The number one tool that I will be using today is this hammer. This is an S-Twing. It is the absolute best carpentry hammer I've ever had. Demolition hammer. Any kind of hammer. So we are going to use this thing quite often today and tearing everything apart. The only other tool that I'll probably need is maybe a saw. Well, I was wondering where all those bees were going in the siding last year, and this is where the hive was. I thought it was somewhere in the attic, but I couldn't get to it from outside, and here it was right in the wall. So one of the reasons I didn't tackle this project last year was because I knew there was bees somewhere either in the attic above this or somewhere in the walls, and it was a pretty big hive. There was a lot of bees, so, or hornets, I guess. I think they're or wasps. Paper wasp, is that what it is? Anyway, this is what happens when you don't seal up the outside of the home and you do things like leave windows in and just cover them over. And I was tempted to do the same thing. I was tempted just to leave that window in there, stuff it with insulation, and just drywall right over it. But you know, this is just the outside siding here, and there was nothing. You know, the bees can get in there and could get access into this wall, and all over in here. So you know, this is how mice get in and other critters. You want to make sure you seal all this stuff up. So unfortunately, this opens up another project for me because I'm probably going to have to take all the siding off the outside and re-side this whole portion of the home. I've got holes in the siding that go outside here. I've got a hole in the siding down there for the spigot that I'm going to move. I've got another hole where the old spigot was going outside, and some ripped up siding, and so I'm probably just going to re-side the whole house on the, or this whole section of house, and then seal this up with a new piece of wood, a piece of OSB. And I'm not even sure what kind of wood this is in here. It looks like MDF or something that's gotten wet. It's like cork board. I don't know. I don't know what that is. The hardest thing about this so far has been knocking all these walls and stuff out with all these pipes and stuff real close by. I didn't want to break anything yet. But one of the biggest problems we had in here is all this moisture. So you can see these pipes are cold. So there's constant condensation from these pipes as well as from the well tank. So the cold water sitting in here, it's always going to condensate because these are inside, and because they're on the main level, this is, you know, heated space, and it's always going to be, you know, 55-60 degree water in here and warmer air, and so you're going to get condensation on that. It's like a cold glass of, you know, ice water. Water just dripping from all these pipes. They're all cold. Whenever we run the water, it keeps these pipes cold, and it's all kinds of water in here all the time. So this was all moldy, not treated wood on the ground, cement contact, and you know, you got water all over in here all the time, and it looks like it's, you know, dripping from here too. You got all kinds of water up there. So just too many pipes running everywhere in here. This stuff needs to be consolidated and insulated. The piping needs to be insulated so that we don't have that problem anymore. This is a very strange wall. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's got a cross beam in it, and I mean, this is older construction. Get some new insulation in here too, but this is, look how this is notched in here. It's kind of odd, isn't it? I don't know, maybe that's how they used to strengthen the walls, put a cross brace in there, but it's like notched right into the 2x4. It's weird. We'll finish tearing out some of this. I'm going to tear out this wall over to there. I'm going to leave the drywall on that side. I don't need to get behind that, and I'll probably leave the drywall on this side as well as maybe this section here. I'm just going to cut that pipe off there and down here where it comes through. We'll leave the pipe in there, and I'll just re-drywall that. But I don't see any need to fix that, other than once I get the water heater out, you can see anything that's been touching the ground in here is all water damaged. I may take all the bottom, you know, 6 to 10 inches out, and even just re-insulate that part. Get rid of all this insulation that's been wet from all that moisture in here. You can see the wood has been wet. Well, now that we've got everything cleaned up, and I just put a kind of temporary piece of foam board up there just to block the attic access for now. So the next step is going to be dealing with the outdoor generator, which is hooked in with the appliance connector to this gas line that then goes out the corner to the generator outside. And this generator looks like it was just basically unboxed on, on the patio here. It still has kind of the shipping pallet that it was boxed with, and it was hooked up just like temporarily with this appliance connector, and then it became permanent, I think. So we're going to be fixing that. We'll be taking all the gas line apart, and we'll be moving this around the corner and tying it into the gas line that's on the outside of the house there, and making a nicer spot for that. And then we're going to start fixing all of this plumbing in here. So I think the hardest part about these renovations, especially in this house, is that I would love to just do it all. One thing leads to the next thing, leads to the next thing, leads to the next things, but we have to stay within a budget and time frame. It's going to be hard enough I have to shut the water off for a lot of these projects, so I'm going to try to do it in phases so I don't have to have the water off for 2 days straight while I do it, and the entire project at once. So I'm going to try to break it up into small phases so that I can, maybe turn the water off for half a day, move the well and expansion tank stuff, and then do the next part of it, move the softener over there and do that part another day, and then do the water heater another day. So we'll try to do it that way anyway, hopefully. But these things do take a little bit longer, especially since I don't do this for a living. I don't do this every day, and so I don't have all the fancy tools and things like that. I've got the basics to get me by. Uncover lots of interesting things when you dig into houses like this. I'm not sure exactly how old this house is. I know it was completely renovated about 15 years ago, and I think that's when most of the additions and stuff like that were put in to this house. So it's basically just kind of uncovering layers of things, and when I do things, I'd like to just do it right. And so I want to, within my budget, do as much as I possibly can while I have this stuff torn apart. But there are some things that I'll have to put off to later times. So a lot of the electrical stuff I'd love to trace down and rewire and that kind of thing, but I just can't do it all at once. So the siding on the outside of the house, I'd like to replace all that. Whether I can do that before winter hits or not, I'm not sure yet, so we may have to hold off on that as well. But I definitely need to get the inside stuff done and get the walls built and doors put in, and I've got heat vents and ducts to run and all kinds of stuff. So you'll be seeing a lot of this renovation project. Hopefully you guys enjoy these kinds of things. Part of living on a lower income and living on a homestead or a farm, and a lot of people ask me, how do you support yourself and things like that. Half of the equation of that is reducing the expenses and things that that you expend your money on every month. Doing things yourself and doing these projects yourself can save you about 50% of the cost of these projects. That's the only reason I'm able to do it. I wouldn't be able to afford to hire a plumber, an electrician, and a carpenter to come in here and build it or whatever to do all this stuff. And so I have to do it in phases by myself and save a lot of money and learn a lot along the way. And so that's part of homesteading is doing this stuff yourself. So hopefully you guys enjoy watching along and maybe learning a little bit as well. If this is your first time to the channel, of course, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button and the bell so you get notified when we post new content, new parts of this project, new pieces to this renovation. We'll be taking you guys along for the whole thing. On-demand water heater installation should be interesting. I've never had one, never run one before. I never installed one before, so that should be fun. So hopefully that goes well, and I'd love to take you guys along for that. Don't forget to hit thumbs up on today's video, as well as all of the SSL Family Dad videos. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.